What do you do, good people? You know what time it is? It's that time when we speak about a couple of things that are happening around us. And so today I thought, it would be fun to actually go into the mathematics of next year's general elections that will be taking place sometime around April and August 2024. And so I was just chilling and, me and my friend ChatGPT, we like to chat from time to time about a couple of things. And so I asked ChatGPT about the exact number of South Africans that qualify to vote, meaning South Africans that are between the ages of 18 and I guess 100. And it says, and I'll just read it, because I think, I want to just get straight to the point. So no more introductions. So ChatGPT says, according to the web search results, the number of South Africans who qualify to vote is based on the voting age population estimates from Statistics South Africa, the country's data agency. The latest estimate for 2023 is 42.6 million. However, not all of them are registered to vote, which is a requirement to participate in the elections. As of October 2023, only 26.2 million, which is like 61.6% of the eligible voters were registered. This means that there are about 16.4 million South Africans who qualify to vote but are not registered. I hope this information was helpful. But what makes it all the more interesting is that I asked, so of all the people who registered, you have like 46 million people who qualify to vote, but only about 26 million vote. But that's not what makes it interesting. What makes it interesting is that of the 26 point something million that is registered to vote, this is what ChatGPT has to say about who actually ends up voting. So we'll start on the 2021 elections and say ChatGPT says and Bing says, according to the web search results, the last South African elections were in 2021, the local government elections, which took place on November the 1st, 2021. The voter turnout was approximately 45.79%, meaning of the 26 million or so, only about 45.79% of that number actually voted, which means it's about 12 million of the registered voters who actually went to the polls. This was the lowest turnout for a democratic election in South Africa. So in the last elections were in 2019. This is what happened. So the voter turnout was about 66% of the 26 million that is registered, which means that 66% is actually about 17.7 million of the 26, the total 26 million of the registered voters that actually cast their ballots. This was also lower than the previous elections in 2014, because before 2019, it was 2014, and the turnout was about 73.48%. You understand? Which was way higher. You're talking something like maybe 19 million to say 20 million. But so what I'm going to do when I do the math, I'm going to take the closest number or the largest number of the turnout, which was actually in, okay, let me not take the largest, because then it will require me to go and calculate the 73.48% of 2014. I will just take the closest, which is 2019, with a 17.7 million voter turnout. And from there, we'll just make predictions based on the data I gave you on the last video. If you don't know, you can check on the bio and you'll find the other video that I did that actually gives you the percentage breakdown of all the influential parties in South Africa. It's about 6. I think it's the ANC, the EFF, the DA, IFP, Action SA, and the FF Plus, which all have a percentage of the most votes. So I will just focus on the 6. The others just share whatever is left. So yeah, let's go to my calculator. Catch you in a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what you are looking at right now is the total number of votes that were recorded the last elections, which happened or took place in 2019. So in 2019, about 17.7% of the 26 million that was registered showed up to vote. That's about 66% of the overall population of voters who were registered, who showed up to the polls. So why 18 million? I just rounded off the 17.7 million just to make the mathematics easy, so that you don't have a lot of decimal numbers as you calculate. So I just rounded it off because 17.7 million is just close to 18 million. So look at this number as sort of like the number of people who might just vote in 2024. But the number might increase or decrease, so we don't know. So given that we have this number, using this number, assuming that this number is the number of people who will be registered for the 2024 elections, let's go back to the percentages that I spoke about on the last video I posted on the most influential politicians in South Africa. You can also check that video. It will be in the description, so you can just click on the link and watch it. As you can see there, the ANC has about 38 to 48% of the overall vote out of 18 million. So I calculated it like this. As you can see, I said 38 to 48% of the overall vote equals 8,640,000 voters out of 18 million. So the ANC takes a whole lot of voters, as you can see, in the year 2019. So now, how did I get to the 8,640,000? This is how I did it, just to take you through the math. So what you do, you're just gonna do 18 million like this. And I just took the highest, the highest, which is 48%. You could take whatever between 38 and 48, but I took the highest. So when you take the highest and you multiply it by 48%, right, which is like 0.48, you will get something like 8,640,000, as you can see. So if you take the 8,640,000 and you subtract 18 million, if you subtract 8,640,000 from the 18 million, then you will be left with something like 9 million something. So I did do the math. Oh, look at me closing the calculator. So if you go up there, let's just go up a little bit. I already did the math here. I said 18 million minus the ANC, which is 8,640,000, then you get an overall vote of 9,360,000 for DA, EFF, Action SA, FF Plus, IFP, and other parties to share from, including Umkhonto weSizwe. So now, when we take that 9 million, right, as you can see, the 9,360,000, and we subtract the DA, we will be left with something like 7,020,000. So what is the DA's overall, I guess, claim? So the DA claims 25%, which is equal to 2,340,000 voters. So it has a following of 2,340,000 340,000 voters. 12%, the EFF has 12%, and that means the EFF will have about 842,400 voters voting for it. That's the actual number in probability terms or in probable terms. So Action SA will have like 5%, which amounts to 308,880. And the FF Plus would claim like 300%. So let's just check here, because I think I didn't write, the FF Plus, just to fill up exactly how much the FF Plus will claim. So you have 308,880 minus what? Let's go check there up there. So as you can see, Action SA, it's like 6 million. So 6 million minus 177,600. Was it that? No, wait a minute. I think I'm calculating wrong. Did I just say FF plus? I'm just looking. Yeah. Okay. Action SA is cool. So we will just look at, we are already done with Action SA. So you will take the overall number that's left after you subtract the Action SA. So when we take this number right here, let me just quickly copy it, and then we will know exactly how much the FF plus claims. So let me just open my calculator. I mistakenly closed it the other time. So you will have this, and you just paste the number that's left. That's the overall number of votes that is left when you have taken out Action SA, EFF, DA, and the ANC. So you are left with about 5,868,720 voters. So when you multiply that by 3%, which is something like 0.03, you will have something like 176,061. That's not a lot. So when you take the 176,061 and subtract it by the overall, so we're just going to say minus the overall, you're just taking out that number, you will have 5,868,720. So now you will have something like that. Something like this. So that's where I got the number from. So now you will take the overall. So as you can see, right, this was like, let's just go back a little bit just to go get this number here and just paste it around the FF plus. So the FF plus will claim around 100 and something thousand votes, as you can see. So we're just gonna take this and say, paste that number right here. So after subtracting the FF plus, you'll just subtract the IFP. So you take the number and you subtract the IFP. But then how do you get the IFP's overall vote? You will just take the 5,692,658, right? So let's just quickly take it. And you'll just multiply it by a percentage. And then you just multiply by a percentage right here. You just take that number right there. That's the one, and you multiply it by 0.01 or 1%. And then you'll have 56,000. So basically that's like 56,927,000 voters, plus minus 60,000 voters voting for IFP. So that's nothing, man, compared to what the ANC is holding. You just take that number, right? You just say equal, then you say it's also equals to 56,000. So as you can see, that's how the 2024 elections might look like. say we have like 18 million people showing up to the polls and actually voting. Now, let's just assume that the ANC drops by 2%, or 3%, or say 4%, because I don't think it can drop that much. I don't think it can drop like Gabuma 12%. That would be a lot. Let's just say Zuma steals 1 million voters from the ANC, according to the website, right? Umkhonto weSizwe had about 1 million voters who registered in the 2 days they had already launched. So let's just say they steal 1 million votes from the ANC. It still doesn't change the outcome. The ANC will still win. I don't think anyone from Umkhonto weSizwe will vote for the DA. So the DA, I think it might just maintain its stance or lose a little bit. The EFF, might grow a bit. Maybe we'll just say maybe we give it another 2% and maybe it rises up to 1 million voters. But still, it doesn't affect the ANC still. And you take the DA and the EFF and you put them together, you still can't do anything to the ANC because their overall votes put together mean nothing. So that's the mathematics of next year's vote. So the other parties will be fighting for that 5 million, basically. That's what it means. Your Rise SA, your Arise SA, your BOSAs, your IFP, no, not no IFP, IFPs, yeah, but your PACs, So there you have it. Your UDMs, right? Then given the UDM is there. I think the UDM also has like a percentage or something like that. So that's like 56,926 voters. It's not much. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I made sense. And I hope this gives you like an idea of what is happening. All right. So I believe you guys saw that the ANC will still win, according to my predictions. There's no party that stands a chance because the DA is too low. 2 million compared to 8 point something million. Even if the Umkhonto weSizwe comes and steals like 2 million ANC voters, it still doesn't do anything. Because I don't think the Umkhonto weSizwe will just steal from the ANC. I think it will steal from other parties like the EFF and the IFP, who kind of like hold the same ideology as Umkhonto weSizwe. And so, yeah, I think the most the ANC can do to the to not the ANC, but the most Umkhonto weSizwe can steal from the ANC is probably less than 1 million, because I mean, from the million that we hear about, there's probably like new voters that are going to vote for the ANC that have never voted. We're talking about 18-year-olds who just turned 18, And so, yeah. So, but I might be wrong. I guess I will come back and review the results next year once the elections have taken place. But I think it was just a beautiful and nice thing to crunch the numbers around, the predictions as far as statistics is concerned. So I hope my mathematics is right. I'm not a mathematician. I'm just using basic mathematics from high school that I learned from high school. Therefore, yeah, it's all cool. It's all cool. I'm not a mathematician. I am not an expert. You can still go to other people who studied math statistics who can probably correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always, open to corrections. I'm not perfect, but yeah, I just wanted to at least let people in on what is gonna probably happen as far as the numbers are concerned, and whether the Umkhonto weSizwe party stands a chance. And as you can see, the data shows that it doesn't, because we are talking about a really huge party. I think Zuma's intentions are clear. I think in his heart of hearts, he knows that he can't do anything to the ANC. The only thing he's trying to do is just to build a different political party, using his face to canvass for that party, and it's all for him to gain political power in some sense, some way. Maybe in Ngandla or something, he will be running the municipality of Ngandla, you know, or something like that. Yeah, I hope I made sense. With that said, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Like, share, and subscribe. Legal fella.